I seen him fight his last fight. He was tired in that 12-round span. Like, you could tell every time he fight, it's always like a gas tank problem.
But, you know, Tank is a different animal too. So it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win, oh, he gonna win. No.
Going there and he's very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it.
Shakur Stevenson has warned Lamont Roach to avoid a rematch with Gervonta Davis, calling Davis the greatest and highlighting his unmatched power. He says Tank is breaking fighters and won't give Roach another lucky shot. With Davis looking more jacked than ever, Shakur advises Roach to be cautious or risk serious consequences.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking.
Shakur Stevenson admits that if he ever faces Gervonta Davis, it would be his toughest test. He acknowledges Davis's power, skill, and unpredictability, calling him a real threat. Shakur respects Davis as a dangerous opponent who could truly push him to his limits.
What would be your hardest matchup? Devin Haney, Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't say it before, but I'm gonna say it like me and him the big fight.
Gervonta Davis looks stronger and more ripped than ever in recent training footage, showing off intense focus and a serious physical transformation. His tweet, "Somebody is in trouble," has fueled hype, suggesting he's locked in and ready to dominate. Fans are buzzing about what's coming next. Roy Jones Jr. described Gervonta Davis as a different kind of beast in the ring. While he admitted the upcoming fight is unpredictable, he still believes Tank's raw power and skill will prevail. Jones expects Davis to dominate and prove, once again, why he should never be underestimated.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamar Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta to just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach, but we kind of ever seen him a lot. So he get to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. But when they're in the pro round takeover, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet, or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in at.
Roach is coming up on weight. That, you know, a lot of people keep on saying that's a very big disadvantage for Roach. His power might not transfer to, you know, to this weight class. What do you got to say about that to the critics?
Well, I ain't really got nothing to say to the critics, because most of the time they don't know the hell they talking about no weight, but I was able to carry my weight from 154 to heavyweight. You know how to do it right, then your weight, your punch will come with you. You don't know how to do it right, then yeah, you're going to lose your punch. So if he's a good, fundamentally sound fighter with a punch, he's going to have a punch at 130, then he's going to have a punch at 140. If he's not really fundamentally that sound, then he won't. That's why Tank was able to jump around. Tank fought between 130 and 140, whatever weight he wanted to. Why? Because he's a great fundamental puncher. So his punch gonna be the same no matter what weight he got on. If you are fundamentally sound, that don't matter. But if you're not fundamentally sound, then yeah, when you move up the weight, you're gonna lose your punch.
That's exactly what what I thought you would say. Like, you know, breaking that down and making understand that from 130, 135 to 140, I mean, you got to carry that power with you, and how are you going to punch?
If you got fundamentals, you're going to carry it automatically. I took it all with a heavyweight, from a extreme middleweight.
Gervonta Davis has recently partnered with a new coach, signaling a fresh direction as he prepares for the rematch. This shift shows he's taking things more seriously, moving away from his usual routine to a more refined and focused training approach. The sessions now emphasize sharpening fundamentals and boosting stamina. Observers note that Davis looks fully committed, aware of what's at stake, and doing everything necessary to secure the win.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Kevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
There's a growing belief that Davis wasn't at his best in the first fight, whether due to distractions or strategy flaws. Both fans and critics agree he underperformed. With his legacy on the line, Davis now seems determined to set the record straight. His recent actions suggest he's out to prove a point. This time, there'll be no excuses. He wants the rematch to be a statement, not just a victory.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown. But ultimately, it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means. And that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who...
Experts and boxing fans have noticed how quiet Davis has been lately. While Lamont Roach continues to speak out in interviews and on social media, Davis has stayed largely silent. According to analysts, that silence is intentional. They believe Davis is working hard behind the scenes, staying laser-focused. This contrast, Roach talking, Davis staying quiet, has fueled speculation that Tank is preparing something big for the rematch.
Oh yeah, so we hearing that they got the fight set and scheduled, and it's going to be in Vegas, and it's going to be this August. So yeah, it's basically just been reported. I'm not gonna lie, we knew it was gonna happen because they both said they down to do it. They both said they got to do the rematch because it was too close. All I'm gonna say is I'm hoping that boy Tank, because he been quiet lately. Lamont, you been yapping. Talking about you should have won. You keep dwelling on that little almost close win. That boy Gervonta, that Tank, he been... We ain't never seen Tank in this mode. I will say that, Lamont, you're a very skilled fighter. But you should be nervous because we ain't never seen Tank like this. He quiet. Like, he's literally hushed, bro. You just see him training. And now out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, we can set the fight up. That's actually dangerous. That's actually dangerous when you think about it. Like, dude ain't said a word. Even once the fight was over and pressed, he got the little hat on. He like, yeah, I mean, we could do the rematch. And he said it. I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train. I'm going to just be quiet and work. Good match to Lamont. I ain't going to lie. If I was Lamont, I'll be a little nervous. You ain't got to be scared, but I will be a little nervous because usually Tank, he the one that's like, yeah, don't bring your moms to the fight. Don't bring your people to the fight. Dude been real hush-hush lately. I'm not going to lie, y'all. They said the fight set up for August. I might have to go to this one in person. In August is my birthday month. I might have to go to this one in person, bruh. Because this right here, at this point, they're rivals now. This is like the perfect boxing story. They come from the same side of the the mat, come from the same gym and camp. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at it since they was kids. This like the perfect boxing story, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We might have to be in there in person. But like I said, y'all already know how I go. When it come down to it, I'm putting my money on my boy Tank. Lamont, you definitely are skilled, and I'm going into this fight knowing that basically I know you're going to put up a good one, but I got my money on Tank. We ain't never seen Tank like this, bro. Dude quiet, and he ain't saying nothing. The fight just got booked.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't mince words when discussing the rematch, calling it absolutely crucial for both fighters. He believes neither man has the clear edge, and both must be at their absolute best. Hackett warned that any misstep could cost Davis the fight. He stressed the importance of staying locked in with full intensity. There's no room for complacency this time.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, trading with this person, trading with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed. He possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that that night. Lamont wasn't having it, and he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused Tank Davis. Because if he's not the most focused, then he's gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night. And you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for. And he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight.
Champion Mikey Garcia took a more measured stance when discussing the rematch. He pointed out that Davis typically learns from past mistakes and expects him to show up better prepared. Garcia praised Davis's ring IQ, but also warned that it means nothing if his mindset isn't right. He even said that if Davis isn't fully focused, he shouldn't step in the ring at all.
And hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments, and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns out Marcus Pacquiao.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight. Shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right.
You know?
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that edge?
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, like, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. And if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
it seems like a lot of fighters
are
going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him do it. Let him do it.
Kenny Ellis, a longtime member of Davis's coaching team, commented on Roach's intense training footage. While he acknowledged Roach is working hard, Ellis emphasized that training in the gym and fighting under pressure are two different things. For him, what matters most is heart, the ability to take punches, respond in real time, and push through adversity.
See a different Lamont Roach coming into this fight?
No, I don't. I tell people all the time, no offense, this is not a Lamont Roach, but a fighter can do everything in the gym, man. They can do their push-ups, their pull-ups, they can run 10 miles a day, they can eat their diet, they can change their diet, they can do everything right, but it have to be in your DNA to take pain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing and able to take the pain that come with this shit? That's for any fighter, you know?
Right.
And that's the difference in a lot of the fights. You gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Now,
in the actual fight, not the training. In the actual fight.
In the actual fight, what's the difference between, you know, the pain inside the gym gearing up to the fight versus the lights and you know, being on Showtime?
No, the workout pain, muscle sore, fatigue, that's different. But
it prepares you for those lights.
But that pain in the actual fight, man, when shit get rattled, your eggs get scrambled, your eyes get blurry, fucking mouth and nose get fucked up. You know, a little bit of everything. Body shots. You just gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting your equilibrium every other round.
Ever since the last fight ended in controversy, fans have been locked in debate over who really won. Some believe Roach did enough, while others insist Davis edged it. Now, the rematch is seen as the final word. Both fighters have something to prove, and fans want clarity. No more debates, no more draws, just one clear winner.
No, when is the rematch gonna happen at this point? Because I'm not gonna lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we gotta go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving them no props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like,
this time, the pressure is sky high for Gervonta Davis. If he falls short again, especially without a solid excuse, it could have serious consequences for his reputation. One loss can be dismissed as an off night, but a second one in a high-stakes rematch could spark major doubts about his legacy. With his pride, ranking, and future opportunities on the line, Davis must deliver. This fight could define his place in the sport for years to come.